Hi, Gary. Hi.
Begin this very unusual news coverage with a not very unusual question. Is there any team news, any updates on or new injuries?
We have little things, but we are going to wait until tomorrow. Of course, Tanganga has a stress fracture for a few months now. And of course, he didn't recover during this period. And we have some little problems that we have to analyze tomorrow morning before we make a decision. But the ones that had surgeries, Kane, Son, and Sissoko, these three, they recover and they are ready to play.
So you get the impression as well that everybody is as match fit that they possibly can be at this stage.
You know, it's something new that we don't know. I think only when we are on the pitch playing in these new circumstances, I think will be the moment for the players to feel it and for us to analyze. So let's wait for tomorrow.
And just finally from me, because there are a lot of people who want to speak to you, obviously a big game because of the circumstances, the first game back in this mini season. The fact that it's a former team of yours, Jose, does that make it extra special?
No. I think it's a bit special because it's quite a similar feeling to the first match of the season. Match day one is always special, and I think probably all of us coaches, players, we have this little different feeling of match day one. And in the end, this is not match day one, but we can feel it that way because it was a long time of, let's say, holiday, but this special moment for the world and difficult for everybody, even the returning to training, going through so many different phases. But yes, I'm happy to play, even knowing we'll be behind closed doors. We know that millions will be watching it, and we want to give a good game. We want to give a good football match.
Thank you very much, Jose. Thanks, Simon.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay, thank you, Gary. We're now going to go to Mandy from PLP. I'm just going to unmute you. Okay, Mandy.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Hi.
You good?
Yeah, good, thank you. How much does it help your preparation, Jose, for this game, given you've got such an insight into this United side? Because it's hard for everybody to judge the form of teams until maybe a few games into this new part of the season. How much does it help your preparation that you know them so well?
It doesn't help. Honestly, it doesn't help. Of course, I know some of their players, but I try to know the players from every team. And when I didn't have the chance to work with them, like I did with some of the United boys, you try to study them as much as you can. So normally, yes, I study opponents collectively, individually. That's normal. And I don't know, but maybe 2-3 weeks ago, we knew that the Premier League was going to start. We knew clearly that United was the first opponent, West Ham was the second opponent, Sheffield United the third opponent. So of course you had lots of time to analyze your opponents, but you analyze your opponents 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. And this is a situation where you didn't even have the friendly matches like you have in normal preseasons to follow your opponents and to see and to understand the state of form, the performance level, probably new tendencies when you have time to work before that first match of the season. Everything is different. For me, after more than 2 decades in football, it's hard for me to say that something is new for me, but this is new for me. To play this first match after this period is new for me too.
Just one more question from me. What have you made of the impact that Bruno Fernandes has had at Old Trafford?
He's a good player. He plays in a good team, in a big club. And normally good players, sooner or later, they adapt and they perform. In this case, he arrived and he found the team also in a good period of results. I think he's doing very well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mandy. I'm now going to go to the Moose, Ian Abrahams. Moose, can you hear us?
Yeah, can. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
You okay?
You good?
I'm very well, thank you. In one of the last press conferences when we were at a training ground, you were describing how you were hanging on by your fingernails to the battle for the top 4 because of the players you had missing. Now you have all those players back. How do you assess Friday and going into the battle for the top 4?
The battle of top 4 would be amazing if we all start with the same number of points. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We start with minus, 7 or 8 from Chelsea, with minus, 13, 14 from Leicester. We start with minus in relation to too many teams. So it's a strange battle to fight, but at the same time, is a great challenge. Is a great motivation. I will try not to look to that difference. That's why, honestly, I cannot tell you exactly the difference of points that we have to our opponents. We have to look to this incredible challenge in the way I think we have to do it, which is every game we try to win, and then in the end of the 9 matches, we will see what we did and what opponents did, because normally in these fights you don't depend as much as we do also from our direct opponents. So that's really difficult, but let's focus on one match at a time. And tomorrow is Manchester United, and the points are there to fight for, and that's what we're going to do.
One more question from me. I know you were helping out the local community in and around Tottenham. If you could just talk a little bit about that. And also Marcus Rashford, a player you know well, who has gone and changed government policy in the last couple of days in this country, showing just the sort of power that people in football like yourself and players have.
He did amazingly well. I congratulate him for that. It's a bit strange for me that one football player can make it happen, and if it happened is because the government realized that was the right thing to do, so they shouldn't wait for one player to come publicly to put some pressure for that to happen. But the 18-year-old kid that I met a few years ago, to be now a man, and a man with principles, and to fight for kids very similar to him when he was a young kid, is something very, very nice from Marcus.
Thanks, Jose. Good luck tomorrow.
Put yourself back on mute, Ian.
Yeah.
Luis from Direct TV. Luis, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, Jose. I'm
Hello.
here. How are you?
Good?
Yeah, very good. And you? Not bad. I'm surviving the lockdown. Talking about lockdown, how do you find your players after the lockdown? Talking physically and mentally, in which kind of state of level you found them?
I think different clubs, they had different approaches with the lockdown period. I don't know who did better than others. Honestly, I don't know. Only results and performances will give us a little idea about that. But we decided that the players were not leaving the country. The players were not even leaving their residence close to the training ground, and we would be in daily contact with them, starting with the Zoom system. So I cannot say that I lost contact with them, because we were always in contact. So phase by phase, when after the real lockdown, when the government allowed the players to be back to the training ground, working first individually, after groups of 5, finally a couple of weeks ago with the whole group, I think the players, they were preparing to the next phase. The next phase is a football match, and that is the only thing that I put a big question mark in front, because it's something new for all of us. So how the boys are going to react, how they are going to control their feelings, their emotions, all lack of it, playing in an empty stadium, is the unknown for all of us. So I'm going to wait, but I believe that the club made a great work to give the players conditions to work during the lockdown. The players, they were fantastic also in their commitment, and I think we are ready to play football without that emotion, without what is so amazing in football, which is, of course, the supporters. But we go for it.
And how is Harry Kane at the moment? And how
Harry Kane doesn't play football for more than 6 months. So again, he's working extremely well. I can tell you, no problem. He's going to start the game. Does Harry have 90 minutes, 80, 70, 60? I don't know. I think only the game will tell us that. Is he in the top of his form? We don't know. Is not a little training session with our friends from Norwich that is going to tell us the answer. But for him, is, I don't know, but around 6 months without playing a football match. But he worked extremely well. He's an amazing professional, and he's going to start tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Ali Gold, I'm just unmuting you now. Luis, if you put yourself back on mute. Ali, can you hear us?
One sec. There you go. Hey,
There
Jose.
he is.
Hey.
Hey there. Obviously, you mentioned about Jafid Sanganga there and not being available for you. You're going to need all of your defenders. Can I just ask, is Jan Vertonghen, has he committed to the rest of the season yet? And also, do you expect to have Eric Dyer available, obviously, with the FA charge hanging over him?
What's the second question?
Eric Dyer, do you think he'll have him available?
I forgot that one. Because was such a strong movement at the time from the football community and others supporting Eric Dyer, with every professional, being a coach, being a player, being a former player, a pundit. Everybody was so supportive of him. The critics were inexistent. The support was huge. People with great responsibilities in the game, they were saying they would do exactly the same as he did. Was proven that was not any physical contact, the person didn't feel at any moment that something was going to happen more than him trying to look and to help his brother. If this story is still alive, surprises me very, very much, because we have now, even with Marcus Rashford, the proof that what is right, and sometimes this is really, really powerful in support of the right causes. That I thought that this was a dead case, and if it's not a dead case, I would be very disappointed with that.
And can I ask you about Jan Vertonghen? Has he committed to play for the rest of the season?
Jan is a fantastic guy, fantastic professional. His love for the club, his respect for the club is never in doubt. So, of course, he's committed with us. Of course, he's ready to play tomorrow. Of course, we and him, we want him to be with us at least until the end of this season. And hopefully, Jan and these people and my club, they can agree into that. But speaking now until the end of his contract in the end of June, of course, is here to help. And of course, we trust totally him.
Thank you.
Okay, put yourself back on mute, Ali. That would be great. Jonathan Veal, just unmuted you. You there, Jonathan?
Can you tell us whether Giovanni Lo Celso is one of the players who is struggling for fitness tomorrow?
Yeah, I can confirm that. Gio, I consider Gio one of the victims of the rules and one of the victims of the protocols, because he was injured in the end of the period before the coronavirus situation. He was in very bad conditions in the last 3 or 4 matches. He didn't play against Burnley. He played for 10 minutes, then to try to have him for Leipzig, but then he was not even ready for Leipzig. And because of the rules, his injury is not an injury in needed of surgery, but needed treatment, and needed daily treatment, and needed close contact with physios and fitness coaches working with him, but that was not possible. So for about 2 months, he was injured, and he couldn't recover from it. So when the training ground opened and he started having a treatment, it was not enough to have him 100%. So I would say that only in the past days he was training with the team and available for tomorrow. Yes, I think so. And tomorrow morning we are going to test. Is he going to play 90 minutes? Is he going to start the game? I don't know, but a difficult process for him.
Okay, and just you've spent time with Tanguy and Ndombele during the lockdown period. Are you confident that he's going to be able to provide you with some minutes when the season starts again?
I spent 2 minutes with him, trying to teach him how to use the Wi-Fi GPS. Nothing more than that. But then when he was back to the training grounds, he was committed. He worked. I can see him much more integrated in the group, in the spirit of the group. I think he understands more and more what we want from him. So I'm happy with this last couple of weeks where he showed us some of the great qualities that we know that he has. So yes, ready for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. If you can put yourself back on mute, we'll go to Charlie Eccleshare at The Athletic. Charlie.
Hello, how you doing?
Hi, Charlie.
Hey.
Hi. Hi, Jose. Was just wondering tomorrow with no Delhi, how that changes how you're going to approach the game from an attacking point of view, especially.
I'm not going to tell you. I can only tell you that I feel very sorry that Delhi is not playing. Again, I feel very, very sorry that he's not playing. He's a player that works so hard during all this period, and is really frustrated that he cannot play the first match. I don't want to say much more than. I don't think he deserves one match ban compared with wrong behaviors at much bigger dimensions that happened during this period without any consequences. But we were for such a long period without Kane, Son, Sissoko. Now we have Kane, Son, Sissoko. We lose Dele, and we are not going to cry. We are just going to try to forget that Dele is not playing. How are we going to play? I'm not going to tell you. I don't know if somebody ask the Solskjaer how they are going to play. I don't know if he had that question. I don't know if he answered. If he had that question, I'm not going to answer. Just to try to help you, I can say, because maybe it's interesting, the three players that had surgery, Sissoko, Son, and Kane, yes, they are going to start.
Okay. Thank you, Charlie. We'll finish off with Rob Harris. Last question from Rob.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Hi. You've had 3 months without any games. Have you learned anything about yourself? Have you used the time to discover anything new, whether coaching-wise or anything just more generally? Has it changed you in any way, having the time to think?
I don't think it changed me. But I try to pass my motivation to the players. I felt that motivation from the hierarchy. I felt that motivation from Mr. Levy. So we try to give the players the best conditions to work and to keep motivated. And from the moment we had the green light of training together and to be back to normal training, we work with the happiness of somebody that loves the job and couldn't do it in the right way, but to learn something from myself. I wouldn't say so. I didn't even learn how to cook, so nothing changed.
Okay, Rob. Thank you very much, Rob.
Done?
No. We've got the written briefing now.
What's briefing?
Always, the newspapers.
Oh, come on.
You've missed them 3 months. Guys, if you're not part of the written media, I ask you to jump off the call now. This is Jose's favourite.